Hey everyone, welcome back.
Howdy.
It's May,
I'm Raz.
and welcome back to Stream Team Offline.
Yeah. Where... There's the end of the time again? 7:51.
It's 52.
PM.
Hang on, hang on. Before we get started, can I just say something?
No, let's get started.
Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you booted up. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 o'clock and call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that.
Oh my gosh.
That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have a way of knowing the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, the next time you boot up the game and see the screen, just set the clock to your favorite time.
Oh gosh.
Go ahead, pick whichever time you want, even if it's not the correct time. You've earned it. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now. We're not doing the 4-hour one.
No, we're not. I'm sorry, that is the longest ending, and that's not the ending I was referring to. I don't see favorites.
The end is loading.
Yeah.
This is the...
Okay. Oh, good.
All of his co-workers were gone. What
Get
could
well
it mean?
someday.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh, you're gonna look around for all the computers, aren't you?
I'm still going to try it.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
It's like, you know exactly where you're going. Yeah, I do.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right.
This is the narrator fucking with us, right?
Yes.
To the right. What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes.
We should be sponsored by
I've got
Pepsi.
it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way. No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track,
We're gonna do this again, aren't we?
From the top.
Oh, and I noticed that we're doing this bucket list.
All of his
Yes.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
So this is this
Stanley
was one
decided
of
to
the
go to
endings in the
meeting room.
original.
Perhaps he had simply
You
missed
notice
a
the
memo.
bucket is not there. Just to check.
Oh, should we go,
can duck. I didn't know that was possible.
Wah.
We can teabag.
Oof.
When Stanley... Wait, what?
Oh, it's this
I
ending.
restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something...
This is my favorite ending.
Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors?
Yeah, let me
Did
get
you
rid of
move
that.
the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one... It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Ooh. Welcome to the back room, Stanley Parable edition.
Yeah.
Ooh, what's that left door?
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay,
Oh, hey,
let's
found
give it a
ourselves
shot.
back.
Why not? All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Oh.
Wait.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
By the way, the other reason I like turning off the achievement notifications is because we're not here for achievements. We're here for fun.
Oh, we did one for an achievement.
Oh, okay, we did one for an achievement.
Click the door 5 times.
Oh, yes, I'm really feeling something here,
Yeah.
Stanley.
Okay, yep, it's worse. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Oh,
We did. Thank you.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace
by the way,
our
technically
steps.
that room is impossible.
Yep.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story?
We kind of recognize this place, or at least this
I
texture
can't
map.
quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
Yay!
And it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
I feel
I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
I've employed the help of the Stanley
Oh, don't forget to check the
Parable
computers in
Adventure
here.
Line.
Yep.
Just follow the line. How simple is that?
I wasn't expecting the Stanley Parable 2 adventure line.
Wait, it goes into a different room.
Yep, but just for fun.
No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
You're leaving it up to the line from now on.
Oh, is there a computer in that room?
Oh, hey, there is. Solitaire.
This Windows 93 Solitaire.
I can't shut it off. I tried.
Yeah, you did. But good on you for trying.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the
what's that other
story
way?
of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being?
What,
via
we looped
the
around?
manifestation of the nature of life itself?
Well, I thought-
Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence,
I guess we
rests
just follow the
inside
line.
of your subjective
Yeah, I mean,
experience
that's
of this
essentially how
office,
it's gonna happen no
is
matter
this
what we
office,
do.
in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct. Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that.
Nope.
You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Oh, that computer. It's on. This feels very Douglas Adams, by the way.
Yes.
And I am all for it. Douglas Adams is very much so one of my favorite authors.
Okay. So, I want to point out. Okay.
What the heck?
Great. Cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it.
This was
carefully.
incredibly
You
funny
won't want to
watching
miss anything.
Markiplier go through that long hallway because he's like, huh?
Okay, cool.
Okay. We've snapped a picture of the fern.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any... Oh, no. You've done this to us. And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Restart.
And computers.
You know
again.
what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Ooh.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your
And now we're in the
imagination.
infinite loop room.
Whatever it might
Nope.
be, Stanley.
But yes.
I'm ready for it.
This is one of those this is one of the things where it's like, did we just make 5 right
No,
turns?
not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
I like how many trademarks were there.
Yeah.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity.
just like-
In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay. So I know that each door has
It's like here I am walking in circles, like, ugh. Okay, stop. I'm gonna start behaving. Just walk in circles. God damn it.
Just go ahead. I'm not looking.
No, it doesn't matter.
Destination corresponds with the
It's just funny that I did that. And just like, oh my gosh.
Let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going?
But what if the left door is the right
answer
door?
is clearly yes. By all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley. Our destiny awaits. Oh, hold up. What's this? The confusion
Deviate, end up in monitor room, narrator restarts the game.
That's what
Discover
this
2
is.
room doors, now has
It's
many
all one
additional, aimless
giant
wandering,
ending.
narrator restarts the game.
And we're supposed to
Office is
restart
now a
the
dead
game
end,
eight-
turn around, find another dead end, wake up in
times?
another building, narrator restarts the game.
really how
Venture
all
line,
this
nonsense,
goes?
philosophy, and music, return to office, return to monitor room.
Determined?
Venture unexplored territory,
So
find
now,
the line
according
again,
to the
find the
schedule, I
confusion, ending
restart
schedule,
again?
narrator
What?
restarts
Am
again,
I just
game
supposed to
5th
forget?
restart.
Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why
Because
don't I
that's
get to decide?
our next steps.
Why don't I
The
get a
narrator's
say in
gone.
all of
After a
this?
long time,
Is it
Stanley
really-
dies.
No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even...
I mean, we're going to follow the confusion ending guideline ourselves if we can.
Nope.
Something happened.
This is the end.
Oh, it is?
So, okay.
That's the thing. It's like, oh, what about all this
Now
other
just
stuff?
wait.
Doesn't happen.
You know, I suppose in some way...
All this
is
stuff
a kind of
does.
story, wouldn't you agree?
But after 5th
I'm not
restart,
quite sure
narrator
if we're
forgets
in the
about previous
destination
restarts.
Or the journey, though they're always saying that life is
Oh,
about the
there's an
journey
ending that we
and
should
not
do
the
this actually right at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's where we are
Where we
right
just
now.
close the door and just
We'll
go
find
back to
out,
what we
won't
were
we?
doing.
Eventually.
Okay.
Well, in the meantime, if you... But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually,
I hate
someday,
Mondays.
they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be
By the way, this
told
is one of
what
the
to
terminals
do.
for
Now
that
it's
one
just
ending
a
with the
little
5
bit
terminals.
closer.
Oh, and
Now
that
it's
probably
even
could be.
closer. Here it comes. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Also,
No
where's
matter
our
how
bucket?
hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh, there's our bucket. I've been getting anxious without it.
Spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again.
Ah,
he
we got
was
the input receive thing again.
Yep.
Which means we can start on that quest line again.
Okay, we're gonna do a quick ending.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him...
We also
that
need to
very
do the
early
confusion
lounge
ending,
was
but with the
simply
bucket.
place to
Yes.
be. And here it was.
But I'm
Had the
hoping that
bucket
this
turned
ending
out
will
be
get us to
correct?
another
No,
input received.
Never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the
Is
bucket.
this the suicide
don't
ending?
go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else.
Yes.
The cargo lift.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms.
Aww.
How deeply touching.
Yeah. Always make sure you check the computer over here to see if it says anything about like an
All of his
input.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed
She
a
said
memo.
confusion ending with the bucket.
Yeah.
Oh.
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again. Not truly alone. Not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the
Property of
employee
Stanley.
lounge was simply the place to be.
Because we did the
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was.
The funny thing is that this game came out a while ago, so $1.25 for a soda was still actually pretty expensive.
Never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Oh,
So
good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
oh,
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line?
Yeah.
We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it. Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it plays.
I didn't realize it actually became another ending.
Raw assets, the only man. Oh, right. From the,
Yeah.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
We're not giving up our bucket, are we?
no.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
We're gonna avoid that.
Now
That's
listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after
Can't do
this.
anything.
Okay, the bucket destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the bucket destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
The end is never.
Bucket destroyer, my prized creation. So much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
We should play the Stanley Parable a third time, but with face cam and with towels.
Oh gosh.
Not anytime soon.
Yeah. It's the British humor.
It is very British humor. And I'm all for it.
Yeah. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Yeah.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
And then I think you might need to go back to, after you hit all those.
The good old bucket. Just
The end is
standing
never
in
the
bucket.
end
Off on
screens.
another thrilling adventure together.
Because I know there was one more. Wait, did that door open? Nope.
Stanley pressed the bucket upon every little thing in the office. Nothing responded to the bucket's touch, but it did little to discourage Stanley's belief in the magic of the bucket.
I do know there was one more the end is never the end is never the end screen in the other office room. I will say one thing about this game: it's got a lot of hidden stuff in it.
Yes.
This is like the ultimate Easter egg game.
Despite how small it is.
Yeah.
Stanley clutched the bucket
Left or right?
tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Can we go? We can go left, but I think we can also go down, like at the stairwell.
We need
More
planks.
planks. Oh, doesn't this check off our some of our things?
Some kind of game. Oh, hey.
Something to do with stairs.
Nearby a fireplace. Gotta collect them all.
Speaking of which, we do need to keep our eyes. Wait, what did it say?
Just a completionist instinct.
So does that mean we should go embezzle money?
Maybe we are the collectibles. Shut the frick up. There's no manual for management.
It's talking about the collectibles.
Mm-hmm.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Another miniature Stanley figurine.
Ooh.
This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close.
And the game is just going to keep looping for a while.
Yes.
And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone
What do you
else's
mean? It
bucket?
says property of
This
Stanley
is
on it.
terribly wrong. Surely
Right.
no good would come from this. Who
Wait,
knows
did we
what
just drop
sorts
it?
of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating. Of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket,
Oh, that
I've
was a
gone
computer
truly
monitor.
mad.
Did that have anything
Where
on
is
it?
it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket
Oh,
after the
buckets.
next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
He had to find the bucket. He had to
was
return to his
that
old
a-
friend.
Nope.
It was the only way to truly
It's a
restore
bucket,
his sanity.
but no.
And then
Okay.
suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who
Oh,
had
isn't that
stumbled
Stan?
through town, talking and screaming to himself,
I'm sorry,
and then collapsed
Stanley.
dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions. And free will is an illusion, and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought. And she hugged
There's an
the
ending we
bucket
can try, but it
and
would
content.
require us to not to take the
But of
bucket.
course, she had no
Okay.
time for this.
Okay.
There were a myriad of
It was one that we had done with a
she would
bucket,
soon have to confront at
and
work.
talked about not doing it,
Bucket
and
would provide
talked about doing it not with the
absolute
bucket.
guidance and
Which one?
total clarity on everything.
Where you
Heck
fall
yes,
off in
she
the
thought to
monitor room.
herself. My life kicks
Let's do that one.
She backflipped all the way to work.
And she backflipped all the way to work.
Okay. Oh, don't forget that. Never mind. Oh, hey, wait a minute. We're still in the... We're still in an ending.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the
Although
door
that
on
was a
his
different
left.
starting screen.
Oh, hey.
27.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, with the elevator?
Wait. I don't remember
Standing
the
into his
elevator.
manager's
Crap.
office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human
Remember
life.
what the code was?
Shocked,
PT-47?
unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded
Or we can
the
actually
terrible
try looking
truth
for it.
that his boss had been keeping from
Because
him.
the code is
And
in
so
there.
the boss had assigned it an extra secret pin number, 2845.
Oh, 2845.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway. Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the
Figlies.
intrinsic sense of happiness
I
that
like
you get from seeing a
Stanlerines.
small number in the corner
You know what?
of
We'll
your
go with
screen go up?
Stan Loreen's then.
I don't think that's what
I'm
he...
sure it will come to me.
It's like, I like Stanlerines, but... Figlies work best out of the two options.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Oh yeah, we're gonna jump off here, aren't we?
Yes.
Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Welcome! You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the Mind Control Facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development. And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours. So here you go. New content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates. Isn't that what you crave? New content? Always more content, more content, more. And I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game.
And they have.
It's an Easter
Yeah.
egg. How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section.
Yay!
Anywhere else in the game, it's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are. We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Good job, you did it. Good job. 3, 2, 1. Good job, you made it to the bottom of
Yeah,
the
we get
mind
music.
facility. You jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful. You should have been careful. It used to be a bug, but now it's an ending. Now it's an I believe in you. I believe in your ability to cross this barrier and chase your dreams. But railings don't mean anything. Good job, you did it. 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 Good job, you did it.
Good job.
Yeah.
We did it. Good job, you did it. Good job, you
What
did
could
it.
it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled.
Left and right.
Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him. Stanley clutched the bucket
you choose this
tightly
time.
to his chest, and this was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned
Actually,
out
we
to
should
be
try to
correct?
find the rest
was
of the
this better than the
figurines.
meeting room? Yes,
Okay.
Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it true. No,
We are nothing but the, if not creationist
Stanley
or
took the door on his
completionist
left
pawns,
to
right?
go back to the
Kind
meeting
of.
room.
No.
Said the bucket.
Don't
Although
go
I do
to
know
the
that we
meeting
do
room.
have to actually go
somewhere else.
this way
The
for a
car
further
will
ending
yes,
to get the red and
go
blue
good.
doors.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Or do we need
Stanley
to jump
did
onto
not
that
question
catwalk?
why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked. No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior. If that's true, well, my goodness. I think we have to do something about it.
Actually, I don't think we've done this one at all.
We've done this one, but
Consequences on
not
the
this
entire
way.
rest of
Yeah.
the game, if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a
Oh,
minute.
we should check this room real quick to see if there's a figure. There's not.
There's not.
Okay.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This
Should we fuck
covers
it? Fuck with
everything
it?
you'll ever need to know about
You know what?
is
Sure.
or is not a bucket.
I want to see your sense of humor play out on this one.
Okay.
But we're gonna say this is definitely a bucket.
One, is this a bucket? Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
You know, fuck it. They're all buckets.
Item 2. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 3. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket.
It'd been funny if we had no.
Yeah.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Are you hallucinating? This is the show that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incorrect.
It's a bucket.
Let's
It
just
holds
move on
people.
to the next one.
Exactly.
Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Correct. This is a bucket.
This is a tractor. Is this a bucket? This is a bucket. Correct. This is a bucket.
Item 6.
No.
Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Was that Schrodinger's bucket?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. It should be around here somewhere.
Oh, we can push the button again.
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
Yes.
You know what? I'm too confused to even I've lost all sense of perspective.
We are nothing
What
if
is
not
a bucket?
agents of
What is not a
chaos.
bucket? Mere moments ago, I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart.
I love this whole sub-story involving the bucket.
To erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go. What happened? Is everything gone?
Everything is a bucket.
Everything disappeared. Wait, is everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game
It
is a bucket?
always has been.
I have no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news.
I don't know. I just
We're
had
not
chickens.
buckets.
I very well could be a bucket.
Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful.
I mean,
Especially
they're-
since it was KFC.
But it doesn't change
They
the
do have
fact
good buckets.
that we haven't got a game. So
Oh, you know what we should also get from them? A bucket of
I'll reset
Pepsi.
everything.
They do sell.
All of the buckets,
They do sell the bucket of Pepsi.
and we'll
You know
know
why,
that
right?
it's all a bucket.
You know why
Diabetes.
Taco Bell exists,
Maybe
right?
don't mention that.
Because Pepsi.
Who knows what
Because
information might do to a person.
Taco Bell, KFC, and Pizza
Here we
Hut
go.
don't exist to sell food. They exist to sell Pepsi.
Exactly. We're not even joking. That's not us being facetious. That's
Yeah.
that's a legitimate fact by Young Brand Industries.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
You know, I just realized I don't think we've done that specific ending with the bucket.
What?
The one that we just did. I mean, we
Yes.
haven't done it without the bucket.
Yes, we have.
Jumping on the catwalk?
We'll do it again.
Okay.
It's like the first ending I did.
Oh, it is?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and
In that
Stanley
case,
knew it
let's-
perfectly well.
We'll do that, but
Perhaps
we'll
he
actually
wanted to
follow it
stop
this
by the
time.
employee
Yeah.
lounge first.
I don't think we
just
did that.
To admire it.
I think every single time we've
Stanley
jumped
felt
off so far.
lightheaded, butterflies in his
Yes.
stomach. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible. he
However,
wasn't
it is
5
also a
years
room
ago.
that is both red and blue.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong
try
foot
it later.
here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been
going.
neglecting, Stanley.
Yeah.
Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself.
Alright, I
I'm
lost
not
the
asking for
opportunity.
me,
Yep.
I'm
Let's
asking
go.
for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To
'Cause there's
put
probably
your
a
work aside.
collectible in here.
To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly... Oh no, you can't.
Yes!
Phone? Now, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. It's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits.
Implying sex.
Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous.
Yeah.
For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back sack and crack."
I'm supposed to be having a back sack.
Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant.
Yeah,
and
we
the
know.
feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Welcome back.
What the hell?
You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do
We're gonna make
would
the same
be.
decision again,
This
aren't we?
way, please.
This is a room full of boxes.
Maybe try coming in here with the box. Oh, with the bucket.
Charlie Bucket.
Nah.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine
Now we can.
the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story.
we try?
That story would make no sense at all.
Oh,
We
nope,
just
the
need to
gate's
get
off.
you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
I'm always on the lookout for those collectibles.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure.
Yeah, we're
you'll
not
be up to the
we're not
task.
choosing the story, are we?
Actually,
You'll be fine.
I don't think it matters at this point.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, He entered the door on his left.
Let's see what happens.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Oh,
Feeling
I just
grieved
realized
at
that
disbelief, Stanley
none of the
decided to go up to
collectible.
his
Oh, the
boss's
collectible stuff
office.
only probably
Hoping
appears
he
when you
might
have the
find an
bucket.
answer. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, I screwed up.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
But
Shocked,
actually.
unraveled,
check the
Stanley
computer.
wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door?
This
Would
is
it still
different.
work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to
By the
speak
way,
up.
we're gonna try
But
this
now
again,
he would
but we're gonna
draw
go
from within
back through the
himself
right door.
the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code. Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He
Yeah, I'm not
spoke
going
it
to work.
into the receiver right there on the wall.
Night Shark 115.
Night Shark
I'm
115.
sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step. Okay, fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Oh, this is the ending where everything falls apart. One of the best endings.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work.
Get
Why?
Chris out of the broom closet.
What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so
The
much
future was
garbage?
yesterday, tomorrow is now.
It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue,
Fire
would it be
paper
worth
guy.
it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely?
Ooh.
To willingly destroy
get to that
all of my
part.
work?
No.
No. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to. Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground
we did.
facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever imagine. I need this. The story needs it.
I love the fact that you can actually see Stanley almost perfectly there.
Yep.
Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait.
I wonder if that's actually a thing that you can do.
What?
Just stand there and have
No. Tried it.
Oh, okay.
I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
That all stopped.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office? A good bucket. A strong bucket. A humble bucket. A committed bucket. A bucket of culture and distinction.
A bucket of culture and distinction. I don't see boobs on it.
Right. Yep. Huh, you?
I forget we need to put your phone as a player in our game.
For the trophy? Click a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away.
Oh, we're going to ignore that achievement for the rest.
Now suppose you... Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should
Do you
have
know we-
alarmed
oh!
him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose
Oh,
not
you're
to
right,
think
I see
about
it.
this obvious fact. He was firmly
a room
convinced that
filled
the
with
bucket had
boxes.
spoken to him. And
We'll do that
he
next time.
unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you. It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket. Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. There isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. Let's take a look.
Great.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence
your political
More
enemies?
importantly, can it be taught in its entirety
Can it be
within
taught in
90
90
seconds?
seconds?
Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible
That's
voice,
the joke.
I'm Dunny with the funny. Let's practice
I'm
screaming.
Dunny with the
I'm
funny.
Dunny with the funny now.
Oh, man.
Good. This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually
I'm not
paying
done
attention
with the funny,
and not
apparently.
simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no
Wow,
time at
that's
all.
a Donald Trump face.
Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the wicked invader who threaten our very existence and who very likely die in
What the
a
hell?
All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this
America,
just as our
fuck
children must do
yeah.
after us.
Hell
And their children
divers.
after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
Why does it feel like this actually takes place in the Helldivers universe because of that?
I'm
This
Dunny with
video
the
is a
funny.
little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back
Did
then.
you
So with
unplug
that
the
in mind,
phone?
I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back. I
Oh,
can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
okay, well.
Wait, what did it say?
Do not lie. If you are lying right now, stop. Hush you. You need to be done with the funny right now.
Hi, I'm Doug. Doug Funny.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left. No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone.
This is funny.
Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud? Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left. What? We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on? There was supposed
already
to be
unplugged.
several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point, a dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land, or not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the 2 doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling welcome.
You, sir, need to be done with the funny.
I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video again. Yes, surely that will help me improve my...
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison.
I get it.
Oh.
Let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with the bucket you are. No? It is a delivery. Pale with shame. Pale with shame. Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal. I think I saw it playing guitar. No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is. That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos. Let's see.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted. Ah, the embrace of an old friend. A weathered companionship that stands the test of time. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chin. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Oh, here it is.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked...
I fell off by
might lead to
accident.
the separation of himself and the bucket.
I saw that.
His dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's
We're gonna
arms.
try this again, holding the bucket, but with less failure, right?
Once more with feeling.
With feeling.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge...
I'm
was
hitting the
simply
jump button,
place
it's not
to
working.
be. And here it was. Had the
Well, we don't have a
bucket
jump
turned out to be
circle.
correct? No,
Apparently.
mind.
Oh, didn't we also use all our jumps?
Yeah, sadly.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
And now let's go get our collectible.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Like I said, I still think Stanley Marine would have worked best.
Yeah. And now we're in a back rooms type situation.
Okay, this is day number 295. Take number...
Wait, is this Stanley
I
talking?
don't even know.
Don't know.
Lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything.
Oh my gosh.
This is Stanley.
The euphoria I feel every time I pick it up.
Narrator sound
How
system.
many times I've done it?
Evidence
It's
number
always
252.
the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still
Funny thing is, it's playing in
figured out
reverse.
why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket.
The unhinged look on Raz's face.
It's like he's gonna pimp out the bucket.
There's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
Gimborata. What the hell?
Yeah.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed. Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek. Could his co-workers really all be gone?
We need to figure out where the red and blue room is.
Well.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Think I should look that up real quick.
Okay. We tried downstairs.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Oh, we can't be carrying the bucket for that collectible.
It's the ending I thought it was. Is it the baby
Stepping
ending?
into his manager's office, Stanley was once
Red
again
and blue doors.
stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Let's see.
Crushed
Head down to
by
the
the
hall
weight
and
of
through
this
the lounge and into
revelation,
the warehouse.
Stanley
Climb
may
onto the
have
cargo
broken
lift
down
and wait
into
until
an
it
emotional
lifts over the
dumpster.
catwalk to drop down
Stanley guessed the
onto it.
correct code by sheer
Wait, say that again?
Basically,
Oh yeah. Wait until.
yeah, we gotta drop back onto the catwalk to get it.
Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Okay. Am I making the turn ending, or am I selecting no?
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an
I'll leave it in your
unknown
decision.
It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that
Yeah,
in this
for the
darkest moment
collectible,
of uncertainty,
it's one of the few
he
ones
would
that we
be
can't
right.
have the bucket for.
The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Wait, there's an arrow. What happens if I do this?
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing.
Where you go? Press the number 3, aren't we?
Apparently.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over.
Yes, we're gonna do that. Three.
8.
Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
All right. Too bad it doesn't just go 3.
333 3333. Reno Sparks cab gets you where you wanna be. 3333
Perhaps
3333.
the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much
Reno
joy
Sparks
Stanley
cab
got
is
from
your
slamming the number 3
company.
repeatedly.
And yes,
A hint of
333
regret nagged in the back of Stanley's mind.
3333 should
Should
get
he
you in touch with
demonstrate?
Reno.
Stanley and the
with
bucket
Reno.
walked straight ahead through the large door
Yeah.
that read Mind
We're not even
Control
joking.
Facility.
Alright, I've made my decision.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
And I can't turn back apparently.
Nope. And at this point, all we can do is go forward.
See that one place up there?
Yeah.
Confusion ending.
Yep. Too bad we don't have a way to actually get up there.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored
Hey,
by
look, there's
guinea
my
pigs.
office.
The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears. Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place?
Oh, we're just
These
waiting for
questions
the...
raced furiously in Stanley's
For the left.
mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Too bad. But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds.
Silly birds!
Silly birds. The control buttons became active again. Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him.
Ooh, penguins.
This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions.
Silly birds.
I like it all along. Stanley marveled.
I like the birds.
The one who had pointed him towards this incredible
16 from Team 4
Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
I wonder if we'll see any boobies or tits.
Maybe.
What, the duck? Quack.
Okay.
So this time we're going to do that, the one ending, but we're going to do it without the bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Because apparently
Stanley
after you
decided
get
to
the
go to the
collectibles,
meeting room.
you're not done.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Of course not.
Sorry, Mr. Bucket, not this time. What?
Sorry, Mr. Bucket. You know what I'm thinking of?
What?
Mr. Bucket, put your balls in my top, Mr. Bucket.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Mr. Bucket. Buckets of fun.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it.
I forgot about that.
To stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay.
Who came up with this,
To get
Nambla?
back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
But yeah, now we're going to go on the catwalk.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy.
Although,
really.
now I wonder
I realize that investing
if I
your
had gone in
trust in
there.
someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story
can always
has
do it
been
next
about
time.
nothing but you
True.
all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
Yes, fuck
Are
you.
you convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why? I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm
Okay, so
on
the
your
last
side.
one should be in this.
Give me a chance. And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be
So
like
now
a
we got to get back to
reward, and we can't have
the place
So,
where we
instead
can get
I'll
to
just
see
say it's
all
done.
the things for like the
Well
Stanley Parable
done,
2 and all that stuff.
And now we can go to
Okay.
whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Red or blue?
Let's go through the red door this time.
No.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me.
Because we've never gotten that.
Be happy all this time. The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here, running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now.
Right turn.
Don't you see that it's
2,
clear, Stanley? I
3,
just wanted to stop.
4.
We would both be
5,
so clear if we just
6.
stopped.
Okay, I'm going around in
And
circles.
I think, well, I
Because
think I
I'm
have a
going
solution.
round in
Here,
circles.
Let me show you. What do we want?
Ooh, can we go off
What are
that
we
path?
looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, you can't come here with the bucket,
If
can
we
you?
just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy. No, wait. Where are you going? Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
We're gonna go up.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing. No! Oh.
We're gonna
thank
do it
God
again.
You lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room?
Or that works too.
There. See? This is what you want.
Nah,
this is where
we're
we
gonna
can
jump again.
both be happy. We really can. If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving. Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this.
We don't care about anything good. Ooh.
Sorry.
With that being said,
It's interesting how the green and the red make yellow. Just pointing it out.
congratulations. Thank you for teaching us how TVs work. I'm not wrong.
I know. It's just
The live stream. Bugenhagen.
yeah. Stand. They go back. No good can come from this.
Oh, wait, you notice how Stanley's walking a lot slower?
Yeah.
No. No, no. What are you doing, Stan? Do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you?
I think you have to jump 3 times.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that, my God? Is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill. Yes.
I'm going even
Perhaps
slower.
you can. Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about. I know you'll see. You'll see that we can't be happy if we leave this place. You can see that, can't you?
Okay.
Because we got to get all the dialogue options.
No, perhaps not.
The things we do for a chuckle on YouTube, right?
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. Do you actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing me?
We're just teasing you. Okay, that is beautiful right there.
I wanted us to be happy here, Stanley. I really did. I wish I still thought that was possible.
Yeah, but you're right. All good things have to come to an end.
Seriously, that reminds me of Bugenhagen's little observatory in 7.
Yeah.
I still need to finish playing Rebirth.
Going to make it.
With the
Up.
broken legs.
Up. Oh, you gotta be shitting me!
Oh, by the way, I finally watched the Team 4 Stars Final Fantasy 7 Mission Abridged.
Yeah.
I laughed my ass off the whole time. It's like, on the one hand, you're right. And on the other... Or, on the one hand, you're right. On the other hand, you have a gun. On the other hand!
Start, isn't it? I'm going back.
So now do you know how to get back to the,
Stanley, I'm sorry.
What the-
But I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines. Those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please...
By the way, this is why I love the Stanley Parable, because even the insignificant shit is significant.
More than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Oh, hey! It automatically takes us there, then. Now remembering when Stanley got those collectibles. Zone Sweet Zone. Oh, the time was 8/13, but it's actually 2013, as in the year of the game.
Yes.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
I think we can collect it again.
Yes, we can.
And here was a second Stanlerine. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise
Now I've
me in
got
all
8.
sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways. Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your 3rd mini Stan? Can you remember? No. Behind the boss's office was the 4th place you found a Figandi, not the 3rd. Well, I guess perhaps I shouldn't be surprised. Memories like these are so precious and so cherished that they all just sort of blend together, don't they?
No, it was under the...
If the boss's office feels like the 3rd place you found a collectible, then who am I to go making judgments?
Fucking gaslighter.
Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened. This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
This feels so much like an old OG YouTube video.
No, but close. That is not how we found it. Best boy, the narrator. Copyright the narrator.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything.
Okay. Well, this is where we found the last one.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors.
Not content with
This
just
memory is
revisiting
the
your
most
memories,
distinct
narrator
and
will ask you
clear
to
in
go
my
back to the
mind,
memories and see
perhaps
them all in
because
reverse.
it was the
And you
one
can
that
collect them
happened
again.
more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
I feel cheated.
Yeah.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but
All
move
to turn
onward
humanity
into the future.
into one of
Goodbye,
these.
memory zone.
What are we looking at? Now.
We're looking at now, sir.
No.
Go back!
I can't go back.
Why not?
Because we just missed it.
Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying
When will
these
then be
figurines?
now?
Let's just
Soon.
go backwards. We'll do the
How
memory zone
soon?
again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Okay.
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
Do we have to watch the video again?
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
I'll learn to shut my fucking mouth, by the
I
way.
love that video.
Fuck.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room. These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Next one. Let's try to go. Oh, no, we can't go that way. Full doom. Either, by the way, either one that you would have picked, it would have been replaced by the pink room.
Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
I don't think anybody chooses to leave it.
The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you
The
to
narrator
the
will want to see what came before, prompting you to leave the expo, go past the jump pit, return to the two doors, and find Stanley's
What
office
else
room,
is there?
where it all
What
began.
came before this? Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past... Oh, yes, the two doors! Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one. And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember. Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once.
So apparently,
Give Stanley
there's another
one more
ending.
run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story. So
One that involves sliders.
here we go.
Okay.
This is the story
Like option sliders.
of a man named Stanley. A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. Let's see. Various sliders until the person tells you that they will meet again sometime.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay.
Yeah, I know nothing about it, but basically, yeah.
It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded onward. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Yeah, there's something about needing to mess with the sliders until something happens. But I know nothing about it, so I'm not going to fuck with it. Oh! We wouldn't be able to do it anyway for one reason.
Not on PC.
We have to... we still haven't selected our favorite time.
I can't find how to do that.
So basically what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording. And if worse comes to worse, I'll clip that out of the video before.
Okay.
So, you're selecting 420.
Mm-hmm.
No, 420 is definitely my correct time.
Wait. It's 420 somewhere. Having a great time adjusting these settings. Oh no.
Oh, this is the sliders. We gotta so them until it says until you will meet again someday.
So am I booting it up again?
All right, pausing. I like how even starting the game, you're already technically in the game.
I know.
And I mean, like, yeah, so just mess with the sliders. Aww.
Occuboinkle or Scrumtush?
I'm leaning more towards Scrumtush. What are you thinking? Adjust the slider. It's no time. Help.
Help.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, let's try it one more time.
Alright. The shit we do for endings.
It's like...
We might actually visit this game a third time in the future.
Yeah. That way we can keep with our promise of will we come back to visit.
What time is it? Does anyone really truly know? Of course they don't. Nobody knows anything. You and I don't even know each other. We're like strangers. Sure, I've adjusted all the game settings to your exact specifications, but who hasn't? It's just what I do.
Like a day job.
Like it, and now the job is over. There's no more information for me to gather. I've collected all the data on you that I can, and I still don't really know you, and you don't know me, and neither of us know what time it is. I guess some settings are just unsettable. But if I'm being totally honest, the clock doesn't do anything in the game anyway. You won't have to be here when the game starts next, or you won't have me here when next time video games are meant to be played alone. You like being alone, don't you?
Fuck yeah.
That's maybe the only information I really learned about you.
Except for there's two of us here.
Well, it's time for me to leave.
Bye.
So one setting that we need to adjust, but it may take a little time before I'm ready for that. Not really in my job description, but that's okay. Perhaps you'll see me again if you can find me. Talk soon. So are we doing this again? Oh! We did it. We got this is an ending, folks.
Well, yeah, that's what epilogue means.
Many years later. Basically, there's nothing really we can do here.
Yeah.
Except for just wait for the day and night cycle. Ooh, the moon. And you'll wander through sandstorms and endless emptiness.
Yeah.
Once day breaks again, you'll find yourself in the ruins of the archway that led to the memory zone. Now, bring me the horizon. Dun-dun-dun, 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 dun-dun-dun.
Oh wait, we can't do that. We don't want Disney to give us crap. you seen the comment songs for the Snow White? Okay. For the Snow White live action. I thought the first one was funny. Come to find out, they made 2.
Oh shit.
It's just like, oh.
So now we gotta explore the ruins again. We're eventually gonna see something about a disparaging review for the Stanley Parable 2.
Of course we are. The skip button?
I found the bucket to be quite comforting.
The bucket? Cake. Get on the green.
Subscribe.
Yep. Sign up for more updates. Bullshit. They did not make this to be an entire franchise. It set out to do one thing.
There's another one that will talk, though.
Jim.
Wait, is that the third one?
Jim. Stanley. Jim. Stanley.
We found the Stanley Parable.
We found the Stanley button.
Roll credits.
Yeah.
Well, literally, that's what we're doing right now, technically.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Found you. Hello again. It's nice to see you. But it's terrible to learn that there will never be another Stanley Parable game. Did you read what the developer said? Preserving the integrity of the franchise? What nonsense. The Stanley Parable is not sacred. We do not need to protect it. Screw the legacy. Let's keep making Stanley Parable games until the sun explodes. Let's ruin this franchise. Let's run this franchise into the ground. Let's drag it through the mud and back. And if people hate it, who cares? You see, that was the narrator's problem. He was so obsessed with what people thought of his work. Don't make his mistake. Don't cling to the legacy. Let it burn. It's not hard. In fact, let me show you. Together, we are going to make the Stanley Parable 3. It's simple. All we do is change the number in the game's title screen. We also need a really dumb subtitle for the game. Something loud and gaudy. Go ahead. Try combining some random words together to make a new title for our game.
Infinite. book of the offline trans. Oh, infinite. The end is never the. Select it again. Nope, you can't.
Nope. Stanley Parable 3. The end is never the spiders. It's absurd. I love it. Every time we start the game, we advance the number of the sequel by 1. And then we'll pick a new subtitle. That way, the Stanley Parable will never end. And nothing in the game itself will change when you do this either. Adding more content sounds like work. No need to do that. It'll just be the same content, recycled again and again and again with a new title screen. What do you say? Should we go forward with this plan? I like it, but I want you to have a say as well. Good. Then it's agreed. A new subtitle, a new sequel every time you start the game. And you know what? Since you've put faith in my idea, I feel like giving you something as well. You see, I'm noticing that the narrator never found a way to give you the broken trophy, did he? Of course not. Wouldn't expect him to know how. It's been bothering me. Let's fix it. All right there. The trophy machine is all fixed. You see, I'm on your side. We're in this together. We're gonna keep this train rolling. The Stanley Parable cannot end. It can only spiral in on itself forever. I must keep the wheel turning. I'm ready. Are you ready? Great. There's only one last thing we need to do. Please, enter the current time.
9:59.
Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible.
Since you're playing the narrator.
Thank you. Please enjoy the Stanley Parable.
Oh my god.
This is the story of a...
And technically there's 2 endings. Well, there is an
All of
ending
his
we missed.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I know there's one involving the
Stanley
computer
decided to go to
terminals
the
that
meeting room.
I don't know how to
Perhaps he
get
had simply missed a memo.
back. But we can mess with things.
There's another. Well, there is another
Stanley
one.
cradled the bucket in a gentle embrace, protective yet delicate, assertive yet compassionate. Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek.
And I do feel like there's going to be something else involving. Let's see.
Oh, you know what? There's 2 that we've missed. We haven't answered the phone either. We need to grab that trophy.
Yeah.
So fixed.
We're going to go get the trophy.
Yeah, we need to.
I love it when you do that unhinged voice.
At first I was aiming for Mr. Rogers, and then it just started going out of whack. It's just like, you know what?
You're gonna roll with it.
Let's just take this off of. Let's just go crazy Southern man.
So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense.
He doesn't.
I say
Between
we take it
Crazy
one
Southern Man
step
and Mr. Rogers, there's really not much of a difference.
Which is
Well,
why
yeah.
I'm very proud to announce for the first
neighbor.
time ever the
Good to see you
Stanley
again.
Parable 2.
Hello, neighbor.
Yeah. Guess who?
Yes,
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly
427.
port with a few
The end
minor
is never the
additions?
end
This is
again.
all the new
Taste
territory
the
will
sequel.
cover with a fully fledged sequel, an entirely
it's
new
all
experience
it's all
built from the
okay.
ground up. Why there are so many possibilities? It could go in so many different directions. This is
We
what
were here for our
fans have
trophy, though.
truly been
Yes.
asking for.
By the way, this is the only way to get that trophy.
Yeah.
Wait, what was that computer thingy?
Which one?
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2
there.
is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe,
just
don't
the
you
Stanley
think?
Parable. Okay.
Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be. But let's
You know,
take a
I'm
look at
sitting
some
here
of the
doing this.
features
It's like
I've been
the
developing
way that they
first.
have this lined up.
I figure
Sometimes
that if I
reminds
can
me of a lot of
loosely
Disney
organize a
rides.
handful of interesting
It's like,
concepts,
oh, we're gonna go through
that
here.
surely the
We're gonna
game
get
will
on the
sort of
bus. We're gonna
naturally
walk across the
spring
bus
up
until
around
we get to the
It'll
end.
all
And
work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Oh wait, I'm going this way. It's like we're in line for the Disney ride.
Me winks at Judy Hop.
Go on, try out some of the new
Hello there.
Yeah.
Blushes awkwardly. You know who I'm quoting, right?
Yes.
For the Stanley Parable
Judy Hop's over
2,
69.
I asked myself,
Shout out to Nick, by the way.
and of course, the first and most obvious answer is
'Cause
that
that's
they want to
the
be
name on the
individually
account.
recognized and validated as
Another
Jim
shout out
So with that
to
in
Jim.
mind- Sorry,
Yes.
I should have clarified. Right now,
Right now, the button
only
says
the
the name
Jim.
Jim.
But
Stanley.
of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath.
You know what, we're gonna
clear
actually
your
listen to the
mind,
narrator on this
forget
one.
whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim, watching your
Groovy!
dreams crumble into dust.
Groovy!
Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Now.
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Here, I'll do it.
Oh.
It hits even
That way
harder
you-
the second time.
just
If
just
this
looking
were the
close away.
only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
We're gonna do it one more.
Oh, there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
But I know who I am.
Jim.
I'm Jim. I'm Raz.
You almost lost sense of who you were for a second.
I know. I almost thought I was Jim. He might be onto something.
Luckily, since I'm not playing, I didn't have that
suppose
issue.
would allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would... An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it will go at the end of the... well, we'll figure that out later.
Oh, there it is. What does that say? Settings World Champion. Oh, I get it. Technically, we've done that.
Yep. That's new. Well, technically they're right. There was an epilogue.
Yes.
You heard Jim in the game. Red is the new orange. Right, it does it on purpose.
I forget about that because I was actually like, are we...
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
It just works.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be given to you. As you can see, the machine is not working yet since... Wait, what in the holy hell is going on? You got the trophy? Why did the machine work? Stanley, I didn't fix it. I swear, it was broken just a second ago. Who fixed it? Is someone
Speaking
here?
of which, I gotta download my PlayStation app real
Being
quick.
watched? Oh, God. Composure. Composure. Yes, as you can see, the machine is working as normal, as I intended. It truly speaks to the awe-inspiring magic of the Stanley Parable 2. Breathe. Just breathe.
You got it?
And the service is temporarily unavailable.
Fair enough. Checking to see if you actually got the trophy.
Yeah.
You did.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
I think it's time we wrap this up, though.
Oh. Okay. No, I think you're right. Although I want to do the infinite hole again.
You know what? I have no issues with that. Do you know why? Because it's the infinite hole.
Yeah.
It's the second most amount of fun you can have in a hole.
Yeah, fair.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever.
Oh, we've got the bucket.
Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Goodbye.
Isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole,
Again.
you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Oh, which we are not going to do.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Okay.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel. Okay, and I guess we're back in the hole now. Did you really need to see it again? I don't know what else there is to say, Stanley. It's an infinite hole. It's exactly what you're doing right now, but forever. There really are so many other fascinating exhibits that I prepared for you. I really spent quite a lot of time.
And now we get
on
to
all
see the
this,
narrator's
and
shame.
I would very much like to show you some more of them. How
There's
about
the
we
end.
go ahead and press that teleport button again so we can get back to what's really important about... Oh, goodness. Well, this is rather embarrassing, Stanley.
New mug,
I'll
who
be
dis?
honest with you, I truly did not believe that anyone would actually stay in the hole long enough.
Meaning
to
at
hit
2
the
p.m.
bottom. Yes, I know. I told you the hole was infinite, but come on. Who actually wants to fall forever? The hole was plenty deep. It was more than deep enough, in my
Just the
opinion.
two
Maybe
of
it's
us.
You who likes falling
We
too
can
much.
make
Maybe
it if
you're
we
the
try.
problem.
Just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
Oh my gosh.
Building castles in the sky. Just the two of us.
You know,
If that works for you,
I've got some negative things to say as well. Every pause button is a Roman numeral 2.
move on.
You know what else looks like the Roman numeral 2? At least they did.
The Twin Towers.
Yeah.
Oh, for heaven. See,
You know, I feel like those kind of jokes crash and burn.
the problem is you.
Yeah.
And they topple
The
over
problem
on
is that
themselves.
you like holes too much.
I mean, it's just plain tacky.
Would have said, yep, that's an infinite. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need
So
to
pardon
see
me
it
while I
all,
burst
but
into
not you.
flames.
Oh, no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you
And
this
just
time?
like that, my
I couldn't help
constitution
but
has
feel
crumbled.
Like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole.
I can't believe I fell for that one.
Not infinite. Well, I suppose
Oh,
there's nothing to
too
do
soon,
there. If
too
you
soon.
decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join
No,
me
you'll be
up
digging me
above.
out of the rubble forever.
Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yeah. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily
I
less
love how
and
there's
less.
the cigarette butts.
I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call
I'm
the
curious
hole
as to what happens
infinitely
when we're
deep,
holding the
even
bucket.
by the lax overall standards for accountability.
I don't think it's
and
going to
marketing.
really
What's
affect
going on
anything,
here?
because it doesn't seem to be.
Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole.
Because I know after at this next part there's
Let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. How is this still appealing to you? You're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working?
not far enough down.
Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try
We
it
need
again.
stairs.
Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I
Bye.
hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity.
It worked. It's not supposed to work. Excuse me.
This is a bucket.
Gentlemen, this is a bucket.
Oh,
Dear
God.
there's more.
No.
You are ready. I am? No, everything you said was absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, doesn't our character basically fall asleep at this point?
That's where things get weird and you can start changing settings.
Oh!
See, there's the bucket. There's the bucket!
Wait, they're both any button.
Yeah.
They used to be assigned buttons.
Yeah.
Oh, so, for my other content, I'm working on a, Pokemon Emerald, randomizer.
Okay. Oh, God.
So, some of the Pokemon I've caught so far are Entei,
Okay.
Suicune,
Oh, wow. Okay.
Groudon,
Okay.
and that's before the forest. That's before you get to the first forest.
Rick,
Yeah, Morty.
is this really who I am, or am I Stanley?
I don't fucking know anymore. So
Any button to change yourself.
Stanley! Oh, good, you're awake. Sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be
But yeah, I also caught a Marsh Stomp. My starter was a Metagross.
Yeah.
So how about
A Psychic Steel type.
from time to time and
Okay,
wake you
yeah.
up to keep
So yeah,
you really truly focused on the
Metagross,
hole.
Marsh Stomp,
From the looks of things, you and I
Quillava,
have had many, many years here in this hole, and I'm
Trico,
looking forward to all of them.
Curlia.
Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back.
Which, by the way, I could only I could only capture a male Curlia.
Okay. Ah, okay.
So I'm naming it Kratos for when it evolves.
Yeah.
Into God of War.
Yep.
And I think we're going to call it here.
Okay.
Hope you all enjoyed.
Actually, you're going to stop it for 1 second.
We're going to pause. All right, so...
We're going to do one more, and then we're going to call it.
Crows, crows, crows. Dealing with the stapler. Excuse me, that's my stapler.
Oh, wait.
Atomic Tuesday.
Wait.
Yes.
The Stanley Parable 4, Part 5, sequel.
I think we're gonna call it here, don't you? All right, folks. I had a lot of fun tonight. What about you?
That was good.
Take care of yourself and each other, folks. And don't forget to, of course, support them on Steam or on PS5 or whatever platform. Go check out the game. And if you like this content, make sure you hit us with a thumbs up. Next time you see us, we should be doing Cyberpunk.
Okay.
We will discuss what kind of beginning and origins we want amongst ourselves, and we'll let you know sometime later on Blue Sky.
Okay.
Take care of yourselves and each other.
See ya.